Said has pared down from over 300 pounds.
Yeah, he was 338 before he started fighting. It's an interesting story. He was a football player in high school, but he dropped out of high school as a junior, and he said he just got in bar fights and all sorts of things. And yes, I know I'm talking about a high school junior, but he said he was a super heavyweight when he was in the 9th grade.
Yeah, and then, as you said, the tough man contest followed and all the rest. And he really didn't have much amateur experience. And as he said, he's learning as a pro. And he said, even though I've only had 13 fights, he said, I feel like my skills have been improving every time out.
Hey, he's 23 years old, but he has lived a life that has been chock full so far. 25 years old now, I beg your pardon.
He does have a common opponent with Tommy Morrison. Tui Tuia, who we saw in Morrison's last contest get knocked out by Tommy, went 8 rounds with Brian Scott, but Scott did beat him.
They have been sparring partners in the past, these two, although Tommy Morrison says it was a long time ago, and Scott says it wasn't.
And the way I look at it, it's a
They're getting people prepared here for Tommy Morrison's entrance. Of course, is his area.
They're getting him fired up.
Yeah, they are for sure. And we expect Tommy any moment here. He will show up tonight, won't he?
I think he's coming, yeah.
Oh, I know Stanley Kubrick's nearby. Tell by the music.
May take him till 2001 to get here. That's
as you can see, not a bad crowd here.
Morrison playing the part of the diva here.
I think once Mick Jagger and the Rolling Stones made people wait this long for a concert in this building. That's what I heard.
Danny Valdivia for the introduction to the fighter.
Ladies and gentlemen, Top Rank Boxing Incorporated in association with Holden Productions and Budweiser, the undisputed, undefeated king of beers, present the main event of the evening, heavyweights, 10 rounds. Tonight's bouts are sanctioned by the Association of Boxing Commissions, Missouri Office of Athletics, Jim Hall, President. Judging at ringside, Jim Huey, L.P. Lane, Jeff Sefton. The third man in the ring, Kevin Champion. In the red corner, wearing white trunks with red trim at an even 248 pounds, from Kansas City, Missouri, undefeated in 13 professional bouts, 8 wins by knockout, Brian Bam Bam Scott. And across the ring in the blue corner, wearing red trunks with black stars at 224 pounds, from Jay, Oklahoma, with 39 wins, 2 losses, 34 big wins by knockout. The former WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
Come on in here. Come on up here, Tommy. All right, I've already given you guys your instructions in the dressing rooms. I expect a good, clean fight. I want you to keep your punches up and obey my commands at all times. Any questions? Good luck to both of you. Go back to your corners.
So here is a look at Brian Scott, undefeated, but has not fought anywhere near the caliber of opponent that Tommy Morrison has fought. In fact, he won one fight without landing a punch. In fact, he knocked a man out without landing a punch. That was Alan Jamerson in his third fight. In the first round, about 30 seconds into the fight, Jamerson threw a wild right hand and threw his shoulder out and couldn't continue.
That's the way to win a fight easily.
Yeah.
Scott believes that even in this small ring, he can box effectively against Tommy Morrison. You can see that Morrison's in much better condition than when you last saw him against Tui Tuia. He was 238 pounds.
Although Scott believes he's in the best shape of his life, and you won't find too many arguments. As we said, he started out. He has lost Michael Carvajal. He's lost 100 pounds.
Well, you know, Morrison whacked him on the break there, and that Scott, excuse me, started exchanging with him.
Probably exactly what Tommy Morrison wants.
There's nowhere to go in this ring. So for boxing, this ring is a disaster if you want to move. That's what Scott wants to do.
And these two guys really fill it up. 16.5 feet across the inside. A ring can be as big as 20 feet.
I see you over there.
Good uppercut by Morrison. Nobody has ever questioned Tommy Morrison's power.
He's a very good puncher, especially with the left hook. And it's the hand speed and the speed of the punches. And as you well know, you did many Mike Tyson bouts. It was the speed with which he punched that made him even more powerful. Scott believes from his sparring with Morrison that he can land some punches against him.
Well, that's what I was going to say. At his best, Mike Tyson was also an outstanding defensive fighter.
Yes. It's an area, of course, that Morrison wants to work on.
What's stuff right now?
Oh, there's a
blood, yeah, big cut left eye of Scott.
I wonder if that came from a clash of heads. They've been banging heads in there.
Yes, it well could have.
That's the one thing we didn't think about here early in this bout.
Here we go. Work yourself free.
Still can't see the severity of that cut. As we said, these two really fill up the ring. It's hard to see around them. Looks like it's above the left eye of Scott.
Scott is throwing his jab out, but not with enough power to keep Morrison off him.
Body shot by Morrison.
See, hold him over there, let go of him.
And that's what Morrison wants to do, let those combinations flow more than he has in recent fights. Look at the jabbing your way in. Oh, there's Scott using his head now.
End of the first round, we will get into the corner of Brian Scott here. They're going to have some work to do.
No, look at it.
Well, they're going to stop the fight.
I'll let you work on it. I'll let you work on it. I'm not going to stop it yet. I'll let you work on it. Okay. You know what? That's deep.
It's interesting. That's a doctor that's in there. I don't believe that's a cut man.
Give it a chance. You did a good job.
Either that or a very well-dressed cut man.
Hold still. Keep spinning. You're okay.
Brian, jab and grab, baby, all day long, okay? Don't get on the ropes. You're doing great.
Go.
You're doing great, dude. You're doing great. Where's the mouthpiece?
Brian, all right, baby.
I got it.
Okay, you're doing great. Hey, jab and grab. You're doing beautiful, man.
Here's where Tommy Morrison nailed him with a shot. This may have been what caused the cut. We said possibly it was a, oh yeah, I'll bet you it was, because an uppercut when you throw it like that will create a cut, plus some right hands. So let's give Tommy Morrison credit. I think that was what caused it, not a clash of heads.
Interesting, though, that I really don't believe that is a cut man in the corner there. And, you know, that's a highly specialized area of boxing. he was ready to stop the fight. And I believe I've ever heard a cut man say stop it.
I think that was his manager that was suggesting it.
Might have been.
No, not. I mean, he was saying it's an awfully deep cut. There's Tommy Morrison with the edge in round 1, obviously. Interesting strategy that they told Brian Scott. Jab and grab. And that is about what they want to do, especially in these early rounds. They did a good job on the cut. There you go.
See all the tattoos on the body of Scott. He said he got all those in a 2-week period when he was 16 years old. He said, I was a little bit wild. Also finished second to a switchblade, and he carries a 6-inch scar on his stomach.
Nice uppercut.
Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something about the way Morrison's attacking here. He's attacking the way he did against Bentt, leaving himself wide open and getting nailed with shots.
And he hit him with the left hand now. Scott is hurt.
He wobbled him with the left. Very bad technique by Tommy Morrison. Very bad. And it's the kind of thing they are going to have to fix.
And another uppercut. Scott tumbles. And they throw the towel and it's over. And a number of states throwing the towel in wouldn't stop the fight, but no commission here in Oklahoma, as we said, and it's probably well stopped, to tell you the truth.
Well, I think once they do that, you can disqualify the man, and they decided to stop it. It would have been stopped, I think, in any case. I'll tell you what, as we look at Tommy Morrison, let me tell you something. He absorbed some pretty solid right hands. He attacked exactly the way he did when he got Michael Bentt on the ropes. And I believe, and I'll ask him afterwards, and he's a pretty honest guy, I think Brian Scott got his attention with some of those shots. Here's Tommy Morrison attacking, getting nailed. And there's a nice uppercut. And I believe somewhere mixed in at a different time was a right hand. But this is what erases those kind of mistakes, the power that Tommy Morrison has. Nice combo by him, and that sends Brian Scott down. When you punch that hard, you're going to knock these kind of people down.
So Tommy Morrison is a winner once again. And I'm sure Tommy Burgetts will agree there's still a little work to do. Let's get up to the center of the ring, make it official.
The winner by a knockout in 1 minute 37 seconds of round number 2, Tommy the Duke Morrison.
So Tommy Morrison is a winner, and he wins for the 40th time in his 42-fight career and scores his 35th knockout along the way. We'll be back to talk with him.
At AutoZone, most
Pavilion here on the fairgrounds in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tommy Morrison is a winner in our main event. Let's get up to the center of the ring right now. Al Bernstein with Tommy Morrison.
Thank you, Barry. I'm here with Tommy Morrison, who has notched yet another victory. Tommy, this, again, an intriguing fight in the sense that early in the bout, he appeared to land a few counter shots, but once you got him on the ropes, you were able to knock him out.
I think once we started putting pressure on him, I felt him starting to kind of loosen up a little bit. I went inside. I was able to make him miss a lot, which I think is a good indication that we've been working on that, plus the weight's down, the hand speed, I think was just a little bit too much for him to handle.
You did throw some combinations, especially combinations to the body and the head. Was that the way you wanted it?
Well, what we try to do is always go to the head, body, and high, low, high. That usually creates openings. And when you enter with the more experienced fighters, the big shots don't always land. You got to make your own openings, and that's what we're trying to do.
Well, let's take a look at the knockdown, and you can comment for us.
On the inside here, I was trying to come over and under it and try to work the body as well. Then when I see him duck his hands, the head was apart. Was able to come with a kind of a Tyson 6'4", and then come back with a hook. And it pretty much I took it out of him, I think.
Now, there's an indication of what you were talking about, the idea of getting back to throwing the kind of combinations, and I'm going to make an ironic point. Probably the best combinations you ever threw were in the Ray Mercer fight, even in a fight you lost. That's the kind of hand speed you want to get back to.
That's what we want to do. The thing we didn't do in the Mercer fight that we feel like we're doing now is we're trying to relax in the ring and get ourselves into the later round, in the gym and both in the fights as well. And I think that will help us, aid us in our preparation for another shot at the title, somewhere probably by the end of the year.
But the only thing in this bout that I would look at as kind of a negative, and let's take a look at it. When you had him on the ropes, it seemed like you were squaring up to him a little bit like you did against Michael Bentt. And here's, even though you're making a miss here, did you feel that?
I did, and that's why I started moving. With the Bentt fight, I was right there. I was squared up. I was throwing powerful punches, but I stayed in the middle. One thing that I felt that we did is we made the guy miss a little bit. We're not staying in the middle. We're wobbling, weaving, giving the guy different looks, attacking at different angles. I think it set up the knockout for us later in the round.
Now, see right there, you started to move your head, and that did come, as you said, after you had been standing there. Let's talk about some of the other things that are going on with you, because people are interested. You've gotten your act together to a great extent. I mean, you've been very public about the fact that it's been difficult for you to get to the point where you can have the proper discipline to be a guy that's going to be a heavyweight champion. What's turned it around for you?
Well, one thing that's very hard to do as a young athlete, you know, I always train extremely hard when I'm in the gym. It's out of the gym where I don't have the most discipline in the world. I'm a country boy living in the city. There's always those temptations. There's always something to do. But I realize I have the problem, and I'm moving myself out of the city back home to Oklahoma, where there's nothing to do but build sandcastles. So that's what we're looking to do, and I think I've been around my family. I have a 4-year-old son that needs my attention at this point. I think that's where I need to focus my personal life.
What's next for you in the boxing ring, do you think?
Well, at this point, you know, we're looking to fight late, you know, in the last part of April, possibly the 21st. Still hasn't been pounded out yet, but we're looking to stay busy and continue to climb. And I'd like to take this opportunity also to thank God for helping me get my personal life together. And now that I have, it seems to be carrying over into my professional life as well. So.
It usually does. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
All right, Tommy Morrison, a man who's getting all of his house in order. He helps in the boxing ring and outside it as well. We'll be back for more here on Top Rank Boxing. Don't you dare go anywhere.